times.
Being a straight man is the biggest red flag when dating, is what Doechii said. What is y'all issue with dudes liking women, bruh? I could get on here and say I don't mess with shawties who play with baking soda, who play with flour. Then I was about to leave it at preference, but then I seen some of y'all shawties agreeing in the comments. When did it become a problem to date women? There's no problem with liking women, bro. If I strictly want to date women, that's me. You know what? We're not bringing this topic back in 2025, bro. Date who like you. Let's just leave it at that. Date who like you. You think straight men a red flag? Cool. Let it be. Everybody entitled to their preference.
Y'all, who is the lady running around here talking about straight men or a red flag? Satan, you are a lie. I'm sick of these old new modern ignorant women. You know, it's society that's pushing them to them. Society is telling them to unalive their babies. Society is telling them they don't need a man. Society is telling them to be single and fast and do what you want to do and do as thou wilt. And then they end up bitter with no children, nobody to take care of them while they on their deathbed. Y'all better stop listening to society. I remember growing up, I'm 44 years old. I remember growing up, and what's the songs that used to come out? The Lil Boosie, INDEPEN. And then what was the one, Beyonce, all the women is independent. Y'all, when them songs came on, who never got up was me. Who never got up? Because I ain't never been independent. I've always needed a man. I need help with all of my bills, my car issues, maintenance, hair. I need help with all of it. Food. People used to say back in the day, because I've been married now for a very long time, and they used to say, you know, I always knew you would get married, John. Me too. I always knew I was going to get married too. I mean, I saw it with my mother, and yes, I'm not downing the women who've been through some things, and, you know, they was in some bad relationships. I get that. I've been through some bad relationships too, and when I saw red flags, I got rid of them. Some of y'all just keep them, and y'all just keep going through hell. Not me. I pray to the Lord. Lord Jesus, give me a husband, and give me a good one, Lord, who's handy, who can fix stuff and fix me, who can fix everything, fix the bills, fix the house, fix me when I need fixing, fix the kids. Yeah. I don't know what these new women, I don't know what their issue is. They don't want to look good, and the ones that do look good, they think they're so fine that they think beauty is going to last forever. Baby, it don't. Everything goes south. Okay? Everything that was up comes down. And it takes usually working out or either plastic surgery to put it back together. I know. But you don't want to be too old and then play in the field and then get out here and you give all your goods away to somebody, and then all of a sudden when you get old and lonely and now you got heart problems and diabetes, now you want to look for a man. Girl, don't nobody want all that. Just like you don't want no broken down man, don't nobody want a broken down woman. Listen, ladies, y'all got to get rid of this mindset. God made male and female, and he made man and woman. 2 is better than 1. 2 is better than 1. 2 incomes. Two minds, 2 bodies when you're hot. I mean, when you're cold, you need somebody to help keep you warm. That's Proverbs. So I don't know what is going on with this modern woman. I mean, she just silly. Just a silly woman. And whoever said that, whatever that little girl was, who the little dark girl, I don't know. Is she a plant? Talking about straight men or a red flag. Girl, you a red flag. You can look at you and tell. You can look at you and tell that you would be terrible in a relationship. And see, that's the issue too. A lot of these women don't want to admit that they're the problem. When I was going through relationships problems, I knew, okay, I got to change me because my mouth is the problem. My dad used to tell me, don't you put yourself in a grown man's shoes. Don't put yourself in a situation where, you know what I mean, that man raised up on you. I know some girls whose mouths are so tough. They'll cuss you, your mama, your grandma, and everybody else, and still on you at the same time, but they expect men to respect them. Girl, you're not a dude, you're a woman. Act like a woman. Yeah, that's how I got married, because I act like a lady. My husband is so glad that I'm in his life. He boasts about me. He says my life is everything. And I boast on him. And I do be everything to him. Because who ain't independent is me. Nope. Help me, Lord. Help me. Send me a husband to help me. And Lord Jesus, help him help me. Amen. Anyway, go America. Peace out, y'all.
I don't listen to Doechii. I couldn't name you one song that wonderful woman has made. I don't know any of them. But I do know that she got very famous very fast, and she's apparently very talented. So I keep seeing videos about her on my For You page. And apparently she said something that upset a lot of men. She said that her red flag, I believe, is straight men. And straight men are very upset. Why are y'all so upset? I'm not upset. How could that upset you? How could that offend you? I was listening to, and I have to stop listening to this podcast, bro, because it's just awful. It is just complete dirt. I was listening to Joe Budden's podcast, hate listening at this point, and that podcast does not offer anything of real value, but I digress. Joe Budden went on this rant about how he was offended by Doechii saying what she said, and you had her on your fucking podcast. He basically, in a nutshell, to boil it down, he was saying how she's like alienating a whole section of fans. And it's like, bro, the people that are offended are not her fans. Her fans aren't offended. I imagine. I'm not a fan, but it's just because I haven't listened. But the thing about Joe Budden is he is a chaos merchant. He is an agent of chaos. He is a contrarian by nature, pseudo-intelligent, closeted creative who likes to say things for shock value in order to save relevance. And I imagine she said it probably to be edgy, but there's probably some truth to it. Men, by and large, historically, straight ones, suck. We suck. We're terrible. Generally speaking. Not all of us, but most of us suck. And if you noticed, I said closeted because we know about you, bro.
Baby girl, let's talk about it. For those who don't know what I'm about to get into, let me catch you up. The rapper Doechii recently said this on Hot Ones.
My biggest dating red flag. I mean, strike one. You're a man. Yeah. And you're heterosexual. Yeah.
And before you go, oh, it ain't like you had a chance with her anyway. I don't want to date Doechii. Doechii does cocaine. On camera. And then she raps about it and does performances about it. And they push that music to the children. And these children will idolize her because she's a star and she's making drug use sound cool. Now, for me, dating, that's a red flag because I believe red flag speaks to caution or things to be suspicious of. And so character and actions lead to that. Now, I think that works for me and her. I wouldn't want to date her. She wouldn't want to date me. I don't care. My thing is, as a black woman, I think you should find it problematic that someone would say that they're cautious of you just for being. Because that's something black women got to deal with all the time. So as a straight man, you just saying me being me is essentially problematic. It's something that I hope you change in the future, that you can see that you said and maybe word it differently and stick to like characteristics that speak to character. You know what I mean? Like allowing your boyfriend to put a gun to your head and tell him to pull the trigger just to show that you trust him.
Do it. I love you.
You love me?
Yeah.
You trust me?
I fucking trust you. Do it.
Doechii reveals her biggest dating red flag, straight men. What's your thoughts on this? I know recently Doechii was on the show Hot Ones where you answer questions while eating hot wings because you're put in, I guess, a hot situation. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this. Most definitely my opinion. Everyone has an opinion. And I'm leaning more towards on that scale because I am a heterosexual man. But I just want to know, is she mad maybe at the past men that she dealt with in her life? She said that she is bi and she only deals with bi men. I'm going to keep my thoughts to that. But what are y'all thoughts on this? Because I just want to know, like, does she respect straight men? Is her father straight? Grandfather? Does she has brothers, kids? I don't know what to think about this. Like, she almost lost a fan with this one. I like Doechii, though, but this one was a little bit weird.
And I don't think she's a plant. But to the people that think she's a plant, it's very easy to see why they think she's a plant. They don't feel as though I'm not speaking now, I'm speaking for them. They don't feel as though what's happening with her has much to do with the impact from her album. That's it.
I think that's a mistake.
They don't feel like the music is the thing that's making all of these looks and awards and the accolades. I ain't gonna lie, my mom sent me a clip last night of she sent me a clip of Lauryn Hill at Roberta Flack's funeral. Mm-hmm. But I think before that, it was a picture of Doechii doing doo-wop with Lauryn Hill. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she's a plant, and said to myself, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Doechii doing doo-wop with Lauryn Hill. Like, come on.
I think that's Lauren blessing her.
Good. Good. I'm only talking about how things appear, Mark.
No.
People being surprised that a queer person would want to date another queer person is so odd to me. Same as like people being in shock and awe that a straight person would also want to date a straight person. And the weird reactions I'm observing are like mind-boggling. It also makes me uncomfortable because it reminds me of like conditional consent. These people don't have to tell you why they don't want you or why they have the preference that they have. But I do feel like a lot of the times the people that have the biggest issues with somebody's preference are the people that feel that they should be able to have access to that person or people like them. So this makes me kind of feel like they're entitled, which is where I came with the conditional consent. And why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want you? Like, I don't care what the reason is. Why would you want that? They don't want you. That's weird.
We have to talk about Doechii. I am super curious to hear from the men, but let's just get into it. Now, Doechii is having a phenomenal year. She was nominated for 3 Grammys and she won Best Rap Album of the Year. She was also just named Woman of the Year by Billboard. And she has been in Paris for Fashion Week, being a complete it girl with her foot on everybody's neck. Doechii's a star. We really can't deny that. Doechii's a star. Doechii is the perfect example of when talent meets opportunity. You're bound to take off, right? But anyway, her recent interview is going viral for comments that she made. She said that straight men were her biggest red flags. Now, I'm seeing so many men get upset about this, but I had no idea that men were listening to Doechii like this. If I were to compare Doechii to any artist before, I would say she reminds me of Azalea Banks, although I do think Doechii is very different and she has her own style. She's in her own lane. But are men really offended by this, or are you just trolling? Or are you offended that the comment went viral? Did you listen to Doechii before these comments? Or were you open to listening to Doechii and now you're no longer open to listening to her? How do men really feel about this?
Doechii said straight men was the red flag and y'all done lost your mind. Y'all just didn't win. The commentary behind that is wild. It's like, bro, y'all just proved her point. You proved her point. Doechii gave her opinion based on her experience the same way y'all do it time and time again on these podcasts about what you bring into this damn table. It's the same thing. But at the very moment, the thing about it is you have to go back and look who made all these different commentaries behind her saying straight men. She said straight men. And y'all lost y'all mind. Oh my God. Okay. And then on top of that, you proved her point as to why she said that. Because the thing about it is, the men that know this doesn't apply to them, and like I was saying, the men that know this didn't apply to them, let that roll right off their back. But the men that know this doesn't apply to them also know the men she talking about. They know that they have friends. They know exactly who she's talking about. So they let it roll off their back. But the commentary after she made the statement proved her point, baby. Okay? Look at who responded. And look at how they responded. Okay? Y'all, time and time again, y'all make podcasts and podcasts over and over about women. And she said, straight men. Look at the commentary behind that and who responded. All right, good day.
I'm sorry, if you're like genuinely upset at Doechii or like mad at her over these comments, the whole like being a straight man is the biggest red flag when dating thing, you're just taking this a little too serious. You're either taking this a little too serious or you're just way too far gone at this point. Like, she was just trying to give some sort of like edgy answer, some sort of like hot take. Honestly, what I took from this clip is that Doechii's probably chronically online, or she would just be a little too passionate when talking about like the Halle and DDG situation if she wasn't famous. Like if she wasn't famous and she was like in them Twitter comments, maybe she'd be a little too passionate, but it's just not that serious. And I know a lot of people are mad at Doechii right now because like she's been getting pushed really heavily, which she has been. People are calling her an industry plant. She's not an industry plant, but she has been definitely getting pushed heavily. And this is like their big like, aha, I knew she was whatever they're trying to get. I don't really know what they're trying to say, but like if this is the biggest thing that you have as evidence of like Doechii bad, it's just not that strong. I'm sorry.
Get angry. Doechii said that all straight men are red flags.
I mean, maybe there's more context to it. I don't think I necessarily agree with it, but I don't have to. I'm really just here for the music, so.
No. We can't let this stand. It's divisive.
So what you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna call her everything but a child of God. Insults are
Don't
coming.
that kind of prove the point if you just gonna keep it?
No,
I think it does.
No.
I always thought this shows the power of a pretty woman. I guess they said this is her dad that put this up, but Doechii's dad says, okay, I'm gonna break it down because it seems like this is going way over people's heads. She really got y'all in a chokehold over this. Y'all don't get the joke. In her song, Denial's a River, her straight boyfriend was secretly cheating on her with a guy. That's why she said that's because the man she thought was straight wasn't. That's why she said that. Yeah, it was a red flag. She didn't say, I hate straight men. I don't want straight men around me. They asked, what is a dating red flag? And she said, straight men. Also, I don't know if you've seen, he put a weapon to her head. And, so that looked fun and weird and crazy all in the same time. So yeah, I feel like it was not specific what she said. She just said a straight man is a dating red flag. There's a bunch of reasons that it could be why. That's one reason. I was thinking of something more serious, like, you know, straight men have been do a little crazy. When you hear dating stories, straight men are usually the craziest. When they get their little egos and their feelings hurt. I said they. Me too. But yeah. So I don't know why everybody's so mad at Doechii. I don't think she said anything wrong. And yeah, straight men should not be offended if somebody's a little hesitant to date you.
All right, y'all. So a lot of people were upset about this whole situation with Doechii. I'm going to say this is, like I said, I didn't really know who Doechii was. I've seen people say she's trying to copy Nicki Minaj. She's trying to, she not really her. She a plant. She copying everything Nicki Minaj has done. She's stealing Nicki Minaj cadence, her flow, all that. That's how I heard of Doechii, because I was like, okay. And then I seen where she was saying, like, she did the little skit thing with Issa Rae, and people were using it on TikTok. So that's how I knew started to get familiar to who Doechii was. But I never actually tried to sit down and really listen to her music. So as the time is going, she's getting popular and popular. Anyway, the fact that her dad came out and said it was based on a song, I wonder if that changes like the thoughts and outlooks of a lot of people, what they said particularly of her. Her having somebody have a pow to her head because he trusted and it's a guy and all that other stuff, that's wild. I even if it was a girl, like doing that in general, that is crazy. I don't know what that is, but it does bring up topic of conversation. And I think at the end of the day, when people realize men need women and women need men, we'll be off in a better place. And I'm not talking about the ones who choose other lifestyles as far as who they care, who you love, but I'm talking about just in general, like on some levels. Like let's say you don't date men, right? Let's say you strictly date women, but you still gonna need a dude, like, you know, who's a cashier or at the gas station or change a tire or whatever the case may be. It's never going to be a planet with just men or a planet with just women. It's not going to happen. So when people come to that term, I think the world will be a better place. I think a lot of times the problem in red pill and pink pill or whatever pill, people are trying to fight whose fault it is. Is it the man's fault? Is it the woman's fault? Now, in my personal opinion, it depends on the circumstance and the situation. A lot of times I witness for myself, and we've seen in the world, women do get away with a lot more things than men do. They just do. So now that it's getting addressed and people are starting to hold more women accountable, it's becoming an issue. But are women just the problem? No, absolutely not. It's a symptom of it, just like men have symptoms of it. You got great straight men, you got great gay men, you got great straight women, you got great gay women, and then you got the cuckoos. Okay, you got the hyenas, the pookies, the ray-rays. You got all of that in the mixture of it. That's in the thick of it. You have that. So that's why I say we have to delineate. Okay, this is what I'm saying. If a man doing something wrong, yes, you can call it out. But I notice with men, if you call out stuff with men, everybody could chime in. It's a no-brainer. It's simple. But when you call out women, well, I don't know, sis, because this could happen, because that could happen, because women take that situation as their own, and they would say what they would do or how they would behave, and they would very well behave that way, but not every woman thinks like that. This is sidebar. This is why I feel like Ashley, who was unalived, the popular YouTuber, who was unalived in Mexico, and somebody put something in her drink allegedly and nobody knows what happened. I feel like shady women did that because females be jealous. It'd be a lot of females be jealous. But again, you got the hazing situation with the young man who got unalived through the hazing. There's jealousy there. Like it's in all fronts. So my thing is, if you see it, call it out. Don't worry about the backlash, because if it's going to come out the truth, it's going to come out the truth. And if you're incorrect, you're just going to be incorrect. But there's no harm to calling out the foulness. But regardless of the fact, if this is true what Doechii's dad said, because I don't think anybody confirmed that was actually Doechii's dad, but if that is Doechii's dad and he is confirming that she's just doing the joke based on the lyrics, then, you know, the conversation is still valid, because there's a lot of women. If you scroll down TikTok, baby, they got some words for these men out here. And you bring up a good point. At that time and where you at in life, whoever you are, you attract that person for a reason. You're attracted to that type of person for a reason. It's something within yourself. And once we figure that out, we'll be in a better place. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. It's right.